the Pittsburgh North Regional Chamber. I want to welcome you to today's retail workshop. Our workshops are part of a collaborative between organizations from the Tri-County area. The Tri-County Growth Collaborative was formed to address issues facing small business owners in our community due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Pittsburgh North Regional Chamber, Beaver County Chamber, Butler County Chamber, Butler County Tourism and Convention Center, Butler County Community Development Corporation, Cranberry Township, Butler County in total, Job Corps, and the SBA Pittsburgh District Office have all joined together to form this partnership. This is a part of a series of workshops that are designed to help small businesses. They are being recorded and can be found on the Tri-County's YouTube channel. Before I introduce today's presenter, let me tell you about our next workshop. It is on Wednesday, June 17th at 9 a.m. And the title is Grow with Google Small Business. Over the past 10 years, Chris Reidenbach has worked with over 30 visitor bureaus, convention centers, and community development organizations to help them teach how to creatively use digital marketing strategies, but also concentrate on educating their members and businesses to help bring visitors to their regions, attractions, and main streets. And now, for today's speaker. We're excited to have Dr. Ian Beulah. Dr. Bulow started his chiropractic practice in Cranberry Township because he believed this area was a well-kept gem within the United States. He took his passion for this area and created a following of fellow believers. He will share how his forum for residents and business owners strengthens the connections for those who live, work, and play in Cranberry Township. With no further ado, let me introduce Dr. Ian Beulah.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Jim. And thanks for having me, everybody. So it was interesting. We were chatting before the call, the meeting started here, and I'm really just honored to be part of the group. I think what you guys are doing is amazing. I was really excited to watch Cassie Birch's presentation on the Underground Beaver Project and what they're doing out there. And so, I first and foremost am a full-time clinician in the clinic. I also have, like a lot of entrepreneurs, I have family and, the whole work-life balance sort of thing. And so I was really inspired and honored to engage with this group. But I guess my point in that little preamble is that I don't have a grand presentation. My goal today is to tell you kind of how I got started in the social media project that we're going to talk about. And then I'll kind of share my screen just to kind of show you a little bit about it, But the main thing is probably just to give you the philosophy, and kind of why it's important, because it's like a lot of things in life. If you don't have the philosophy, if you don't have the drive behind it, all the tactics in the world won't really matter, And for me, I'm kind of, I was born in '82, so I think I'm technically a millennial, but maybe an elder millennial. I'm not sure where I fall. I remember Windows 3.7 or 1.7 or 1.4, something like that. And floppy disks and all the rest. When the internet came around, I was probably in high school. So I remember how to play with G.I. Joes outside, but I also remember MySpace, And so for me, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, the internet historically has been, for me anyhow, my generation up. So people, if you're 35 and up, sometimes we think that the internet is that thing that these kids do, and it's people are slacking off on Facebook when they should be working. That was what I thought. I was so guilty in my office if I got on Facebook. I was like, oh man, I gotta be doing something, and marketing on Facebook or going on the internet, it's like, no way. I mean, you gotta pay thousands of dollars to go to the David Lawrence Convention Center and sit on a stool for a weekend, and that's how you meet people, And what I've come to find is, just like everybody on the call probably knows, because, oh, by the way, you're watching this on your phone right now, right? I mean, most of the time we watch and we consume data now on our digital devices. We don't really read the paper anymore. I don't know too many people who do that. We don't really listen to the radio anymore. We listen to podcasts, or we listen to YouTube while we're driving. We set it down on the side and we listen. That's how I listen to or the Beaver Underground presentation. I was driving home. And we don't even watch TV anymore. I mean, how many people are now watching their movies and their shows on Netflix? The reality is you yourself are consuming data through this. We even just went through an entire sorry, I don't want to let my political beliefs go, but we went through an entire political upheaval about the influence on our election, right? So if this device is powerful enough that we think it could dictate an election of a United States president, I think it could drive business to your front door, right? That's the philosophy. The philosophy is that you're on that social media platform and so are your clients. Everybody is. And so the reality is that if your business doesn't have a presence there, then it's very, very vulnerable, right? You might still meet, and of course referrals are the best clients, there's no question about that. But it's so much easier to refer for this next generation if they can link your business on here. They don't use business cards. They use Facebook links and Instagram links and text messages. You know what I mean? It's a totally different way of communicating. And whenever I realized that and kind of accepted that, it really allowed me to be me, which is I'm a very social person. So I don't mind going to the expo and spending a weekend and talking to hundreds of people. I love that. It's just not very efficient and it costs a lot of money. But being social is part of my nature. I enjoy that. So basically a couple of years ago, and I'm in a networking group, and as most small business owners know, in networking meetings and networking groups, you're encouraged to do one-to-ones. You're supposed to meet one-on-one with each other to learn about each other's businesses, right? I mean, that's the best way to give and receive referrals. And to this day, I still do a weekly networking meeting. I believe in it. I believe in small businesses. I enjoy getting to know people and getting out of my office and all the rest. But a couple of years ago, I was kind of had this like acceptance of the current state of communication on the internet. And at the same time, I'm networking. And I thought, well, if I'm going to go and do a one-to-one with somebody, why not set up my camera and kind of make it an interview? Like I have this list of questions to ask, who's your ideal client? And, what's your best success story of the year? Who are the last 5 clients in your door? Why not share that with everybody? Because at the same time, I'll tell you, as a chiropractor in Cranberry, and as many people know, this region is very transient. We get patients all the time that aren't from Western Pennsylvania. They married in, or they moved in and they liked the area, or their work, was here, or for whatever reason, they are transplants to Western PA, and they don't know how cool the Wonder Bar is. You know what I mean? And they don't know about Mission Mahi and about Jimmy, who runs it, who's a recovered alcoholic who now hires people in recovery. And oh, by the way, their Mahi tacos are amazing. But they drive by it to get to my office, and they have no idea of the really cool experience they could have if they just stopped into Mission Mahi. And that floors me, because every time I talk to people, I'm like, well, about this. And they would say, oh, I don't know. And I say, are you kidding me? So the pieces started coming together because I was thinking, well, I got to do the one-to-ones anyhow, and I could record them. And that way, the next time I have a client that is from Wexford, maybe the Wonder Bar is too far, but Generosta Coffee House, that's a pretty cool coffee house, and I can tell them, hey, you got to stop by Generosta. It's a great place, and so online, you have these Facebook groups, that people can buy and trade and sell stuff, that one of the big ones in our area is the Mars area community page. So shout out to them. They have thousands of members, but with all due respect, they had the wrong branding. Because Mars is Mars, but really, if you look at a map, Cranberry is the center of the hub. With all due respect to the smaller boroughs, all the major roads go through Cranberry, which is why we started the clinic there. We see patients from an hour radius, what was it, horn tootie, I heard on the last, Cassie's presentation. To be a little horn tootie, to toot our own horn, we see patients from all over. And we wanted Cranberry because all the major intersections, 79, the Turnpike, 19, 228, they all cross through Cranberry. And so you have Cranberry, and then you have Zealy, you have Mars, you have Zealy and Harmony, you have Evans City, Mars, Warrendale, Wexford, Seven Fields. And if we go farther enough west, we do have Beaver County as well. But Beaver County is kind of its own identity, really. But when I looked at around Cranberry, it was just kind of this, I don't know, 5 to 10 mile radius around Cranberry. And I just heard it a lot, people would use that term. It's around, it's around Cranberry. It's here, it's there, it's wherever. And so what I started was the Around Cranberry Township Facebook and Instagram pages. So people can look that up, and I'll show it to you in a minute, but it's at Around Cranberry TWP. And I did that because if I was going to start interviewing people, I knew that people really wouldn't care about me. I mean, if you don't know who I am, why would you want to listen to my interviews with somebody, And certainly they wouldn't care about my practice unless they have a spinal or chronic health issue or things like that. But everyone cares about their town, like Underground Beaver. That is a really cool branding there. I really like that. And Around Cranberry is just a regional kind of thought process. And so on Around Cranberry Township, we have two things. And basically, I'm going to explain what I did, because you might find inspiration to pick pieces out of this and apply it to your own business, or you might want to integrate and be a part of the Around Cranberry initiatives. It's a totally complementary thing to be a part of right now. We do interviews and whatnot. But so I'm going to kind of explain again how I broke it down and why, and you can take from it what you will. And if you want to integrate, you can do that too. But on Facebook, you have pages and you have groups, right? So pages are sort of like web pages. It's like the storefront. And there are some ability for your business. And by the way, if you own a small business and you don't have a Facebook page, that's rule number one, is to get a Facebook page, not your profile, but a business page, because you can actually put ad dollars behind it and get your message out to thousands of people for very little expense. And so I started the Around Cranberry TWP Facebook page. And that's it's named Around Cranberry TWP Updates and Interviews, because my goal with that page was to just do updates as I would go places, because we like to shop and play around Cranberry, whether it's Cranberry, Mars, Harmony, Evans City, South Butler, things like that. That's just where I live, work, and play. So now, as I'm doing that, I might take pictures and upload it to the Around Cranberry page and or Instagram page, the Facebook page or the Instagram page, just with kind of what I'm doing. We go to the parks, we go to the playgrounds, we do stuff, and we love the community. So I'm tagging stuff, I'm doing stuff. That's the page. But then I also started the Around Cranberry TWP Community Forum. That's technically a Facebook group. Now, Facebook group is a little bit different than a page. The nice thing about groups is you can invite your friends. You can add people to the group, I think almost whether they want to be added or not. There's different benefits that way, but you can't advertise to them. You can't target them. It's the way I think about groups and pages is that groups are like what were, a couple of decades ago was the fire hall, the community, the library, the room at the library where you come together and people have discussions. Pages are like the bulletin board on the wall where you post your coupon or you post your ad. And a bit of etiquette here. Groups are powerful things. Your business, you can go into any of these groups, type in your community town, you'll find one. The Mars Area Community Forum is the one that I first found. And like I said, it's got thousands of members. It's like walking into a convention center with thousands of people. And what you can do in the search bar of a group is you could put in your business category. Like I could go into that page and I could put in chiropractor. And you know what it's going to show me? It's going to show me which conversations are happening where people are talking about needing a chiropractor. Do you know a chiropractor in the area? I can't tell you how many times people go in these groups and they ask for a painter, for a plumber, for a contractor, for a chiropractor, for a dentist, for an orthodontist. It's all the time. And so even if you haven't yet gotten yourself a page, you as a personal profile can go in and search up your category. And then it's like walking into that convention center, hearing someone talking about your category and just coming in to the conversation and saying, you know what, I do know so-and-so, or I have had this experience, or et cetera, et cetera. Now, what you don't want to do You don't want to go into that convention center with a giant banner saying, hey, everybody, I just want to let you know I'm having this sale and you should all come buy my coffee. Like, that's just tacky. That you don't want to do that. You would never do that in person, so you shouldn't do it online. The reality is social media, there's no difference between what's happening in these forums and what's happening in person-to-person contact. That's the way the next generation is considering it. It's just communication. So just watch how you communicate, and don't just, they call it spam. Don't just spam your ads in these groups, because it's going to fall on deaf ears. You know, what's the saying? Nobody cares about what you say unless they know how much you care, kind of a thing, or something like that. So you have to be engaged. You have to be a part of the conversation, and then you earn the right to let people know about what you do. And so we started the updates and interviews page and the group. And so the group is where the community engages with each other. And I'm kind of sensitive to that. My rule right now for business is that you can't just drop stuff off like that. You have to at least say, hi, everybody. I'm doing this thing, you know. But if you just drop off a coupon, I'm going to delete it, you know, because it's not benefiting you as a business. And it actually tarnishes your brand in a certain way, because people are like, oh, yeah, it's that thing, you know, they're always insisting upon themselves. At least that's how I am. I'm kind of sensitive to that. On the page, though, the Around Cranberry page, what I did and what I continue to do, and I'll tell you about the two main things. Well, there's like three, but I'll tell you about what they went through, and then I'll just show you guys the pages. But I started with the ACT interviews, and that was, like I mentioned already, connecting with business owners, asking them about their business, talking to them, learning about why they started their business, all of the above. So if people look up the hashtag, the #, ACT, which stands for Around Cranberry Township, and then interviews, plural with an S, hashtag ACT interviews, you can see all the interviews I've done. And then I even started using the hashtag ACT coffee shop, ACT realtor, ACT veterinarian, ACT chiropractor. So I even interviewed another chiropractor. That wasn't me, but I wanted it to be like the category in a networking group, ACT, whatever the category is. So again, if someone's saying, do you know good blah, 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 I can say, well, I've interviewed a couple of them. Go look at the hashtag ACT blank, and you'll see different interviews or posts that I've put. And honestly, my hope is that more people do that. I don't have to be the only one that uses that hashtag. If someone really likes a coffee shop or a family center or a car dealership, they could use the hashtag ACT dealership, whatever, you know. But the ACT interviews is where the interviews are. When COVID first hit, I started using the hashtag ACT health tips. That was actually the first time I used the Around Cranberry Township as an obvious platform to my skill set as a chiropractor, as a professional. Because before, I really didn't want to do that. I didn't want it to make it about me. It was more about the community and the business owners in the community. And even the ACT health tips wasn't really about me, but I figured I got to help in some way, you know, and kind of give people some health enhancement tools and just different things. So, but more recently, and this is where we're now to the current times with a lot of the restrictions and businesses kind of finding their way, we started the ACT Give Back. So under the hashtag ACT Give Back, it was really kind of a cool initiative. And this is something, again, that anybody can do. I know that Cassie on the Underground Beaver, they did some things with gift cards, and they went all hog wild. I think you did like 25 gift cards in a week. I'm doing like one a week, but maybe two. But I drive my office assistant crazy, because I'm like, we got to collect these names for the giveaway. And she's, really? We're behind on patient paperwork and all these things. And I'm like, yeah, you know, this is, yeah, anyhow. But what I did was I went on there and I had a video and I said, look, who should we support? I want to know what the cool businesses are. Like, I think I know some of them, but what do you think? Who do you know that is a really cool mom and pop shop, or just a great talented professional or business owner? And I'd love to support them. I'd love to buy a gift card from them. And so that post got a whole bunch of comments. And so then I had my office manager, who was working from home at the time, go and contact these people and see if they'd be willing to, or basically told them I wanted to buy a gift card from them. And a lot of people were just closed. But anyhow, so what we did with the ACT Give Back is that once or twice a week, now I'm kind of toning it back down to once a week, I'm putting up a gift card that I bought and we're giving it away. But the way we're giving it away is, and people can do it however they want, but I really wanted, again, the whole idea of the Around Cranberry brand was to give back and to integrate as a community. So again, I'm kind of like, as a chiropractor, we get inundated with media, like advertising opportunities and all kind of things. So I don't like the cheesy side of social media where people, like I said, just spam things and do things. So I didn't want it to be the traditional giveaway. So what I did was I made it where you had to tag a friend and they got entered to win. So you're giving back to the local businesses owners and to your community, because you're not going to win the card. You're going to enter someone else to possibly win the card. And so it was just kind of a cool way to like to give back, you know what I mean? To give back to one another and whatnot. And so I'll show you some of the posts just so you can kind of see it now. But that's kind of what we've been up to currently. A lot of the posts are revolving around the gift cards, and then I even put $10 of advertising dollars behind it just to kind of get it out there some more and build the brand and whatnot. And so that's kind of what, and I'll kind of summarize that, and then like I said, I'll show you just the pages. But that's kind of the journey that it's been on. It started with the interviews, then just little updates. You know, one fun one that someone caught up on was just a couple fun stories. My drive to work has changed because I just recently moved, but I would take pictures of the sunset a lot because the sunset off of 528 and 19 is awesome. If you drive north, Cranberry in general has amazing sunsets, but it's hard to see depending on where you are. But if you drive north on 19 and turn right on 528, like you're going to Evans City, there's a park and drive on 79 there, and the sunset there is killer. At least I'm not sure how it is this time of year, but for certain times of year, that was my drive home, and I would always take pictures and I would hashtag ACT skies, and I would do sunrises and sunsets, and just there's cool farmland. And so other people actually picked up on that and started doing hashtag ACT skies, and that was cool. One other hashtag I used was ACT people, and just a fun story there. I was getting gas at the get-go on 19 in Rowan Tower, because my office is in the Rowan Tower. And there was a guy changing out the propane tanks. And this was like a year or two ago. But he was changing out the propane tanks, and he had a goatee. And the goatee was red, white, and blue. It was this huge goatee, and it was bright red, white, and blue. And I was getting in my car, and I'm like, I got to find out about this. So I got out of my car, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I need to take a picture of that goatee. And if I put it on my community page, will you come on later on and tell me the story about what, or tell everybody the story about what that goatee is all about? Because I'm sure there's a story. And he laughed and he's like, sure. So I put that on there, and he came on later, and he was a Desert Storm veteran. And at the time, kind of like now, every couple of years there seems to be a political unrest. At the time, there was some burning of flags and stuff. I don't know why this time, but there was something going on. And he always changed his beard color to match the holidays. But around this time, with everything going on, he said, I'm just going to do the American flag because people can't step, you know, they can try and step on my face, but they won't be able to, you know. And so I was like, that's pretty cool, you know. And so we went from these interviews to just stuff like that, just community things. And to now we're doing the gift cards. So I'll show you guys just the page so you can we can familiarize a little bit. And then if anyone on the call has any questions and things, but hopefully you gleaned a little bit of maybe some inspiration, you know, to get in there and start communicating, because this is where people are. But I'll just give you an example. This here, I just posted, I think it was last night. This was the Wonder Bar gift card. So I create an album, you know, where I said, all right, we're giving this away. And then, oh no, hold on, it's not loading. The internet might be a little slow. But I created this album in there. And I kind of give a little description. I tag the Wonder Bar so they're aware of it. So now if someone hovered over that name, they can go and visit that page, right? And that's the power of social media. It's so easy to tag people. You use the @ symbol and you put in their business name, and that enables your people who you're connected with to easily go to those. So it's so easy to collaborate by tagging each other. And then literally this has been going for I don't even know, under, I don't know, 12. I think I did this either early. I might have actually done this early this morning, to be perfectly honest with you, because I knew we were having our call, and I'm like, I got to get this one up, because my last one, the giveaway, was Friday. So I may have started this, yeah, look, 2 hours ago. So I put this up at 6:30 in the morning, this morning, okay? And I put $10 to go, like $5 a day for today and tomorrow and whatnot. And it's already been in front of 470 people. It's had 158 engagements. I mean, those are people that either click on it or look at it. We've got 82 comments, 82 in 2 hours. And I haven't even had the time to look at these. But if we look back, now there are 14 root comments, but then there must be people replying to it, because it says 82. Maybe it's 82 between Facebook and Instagram, because this one just said, hold on, let me see. Does it have 82?
Ian, you have, yeah, I was gonna say all comments. Oh, there you go.
There we go. So if I go to all comments, yeah, 2 of 83. My office manager is going to kill me, because right now I have her go in and write these names down. And if I were smarter, what I'm going to eventually have to do is there are websites where people can, you enter in your name and email, and then it'll systematically put it into a Excel file. But right now we're doing it by hand. So she's going to kill me, because by the time, the next day goes around, and someone shared that. Now, here's the other deal. Here's the other thing. I will often go in here and I will share it. Now, I haven't even done this yet. These are 82 without me even sharing it. But for example, I need to go and put that in the Around Cranberry group, because this is just the page, but I need to put it to the group so the group knows about it. There's about 1,000 people that follow the Around Cranberry page, but there's almost 2,000 people in the Around Cranberry group. The other thing that I'll do, and I'm just going to show you this because you guys can do it, it's super easy. If I go over and hold on, if I copy the link, so if I share it, I can come over here. I usually do this from my phone, so I'm not even sure how to do it from the page here, but I can share it. If I copy the link, I can then go and share it in other groups, like the Mars area community page and things like that, right? So I might do that later. I can disseminate it across the different community forums. But that's that. And that's, got tons of engagement. And then what usually happens is I'll go on later, and like this was when we gave away the gift card to Whitey's General Store in Zelienople. I'll go on and I'll go to Wheel of Names right here, and I'll spin the wheel, and it'll just select at random one of the winners. So we did that the other day, and it's kind of a cute way to choose a winner in an unbiased fashion. And then it'll give us a little celebration. So Ethan Lyons, he won the Whitey's General Store. But let me show you the Instagram. So this is our Instagram page here. So we've got all of our interviews that we've done in the past. So we've done 45 interviews. So we've done realtors and at-home businesses. During COVID, I interviewed the physician at Falcon ER. I also interviewed a newspaper reporter, a writer, about just the current status of things, and then I'll share other people's things. Like, so any updates and things, I tell people if they tag me in it, then I'll share it. So like, here was a post, if it would just add up here, yeah, by Allison Glenn, Pittsburgh. It's a boutique shop, I think, in Wexford there. She had posted something and tagged us in it. So if they tag around, so this would be for anyone on this, if you tag around Cranberry Township, then we'll share it, This was someone in the community that we wanted to give a shout out to, that was making masks for people and businesses in the community. These were some of the ACT health tips. where we just kind of had health tips, and they're just different things like that, just really great people and great initiatives that a lot of people don't know about. I'll just kind of share it on there. So it's sort of like an organic grassroots sort of a community forum. The only thing we don't have yet, and this is probably where I'd have to get together with Cassie or somebody, is we don't have a website or a YouTube page yet. And that's something I'll just finish off with, just bringing back the theory. I think I mentioned that, nobody's reading papers anymore, listening to radios or watching TV for the most part. But it's all on Facebook, Instagram. Now it's TikTok is growing. LinkedIn, sure, if you're business to business, LinkedIn. YouTube is like the modern day TV, and podcasts are the modern day radio. And so what's interesting about this whole conversation is you just have to find what you're good at. Like, I don't have the temperament or skill set for writing, so there's no way I'm doing a blog ever. I'm going to outsource that. But I like to talk, right? So this is just a personal shout. If you were to look up at Dr. Ian Beulah, at Dr. Ian Beulah, I'm everywhere, including TikTok, although I don't do many TikTok videos, but I'm everywhere. And I have a podcast. If you look up Staying Connected with Dr. Ian Beulah, I have a professional Facebook page that's separate from my personal one, because again, I didn't want my personal friends and families and colleagues to if they don't want to hear what I'm up to all the time, because again, that's kind of annoying sometimes. It's like that friend that's always in your face and you're like, okay, we get it. But if they want to, they can follow the page. That's what I'm up to. Those are my opinions. That's me. Now, it's different than the clinic. The clinic is for people who have healthcare needs that want healthcare information. The Dr. Ian Beulah page is just me. You might get health tips, but you're probably just going to get updates in terms of what I'm up to. Cranberries about the community, so there's a place for everything. And my point is that your business should be in as many places as possible, right? It really should, or you should. If you're an introvert, then you may not want your Instagram page to be at your name. You might make it at your business, right? But if you're an extrovert like me, I don't have a Revive Upper Cervical Instagram page, because on my Instagram page, I'm always putting pictures of the clinic and we're communicating as individuals, right? I don't want to go and talk to the Apple logo. I'd rather talk with John at Apple, So with Twitter and Instagram, they're more personal kind of vibes, in my opinion. But if you're an introvert, then make it your business. Make it at whatever, so that your employees can post on that page for you. But the point is, you got to have a presence on Instagram. Just like I would say, you got to have a podcast, you got to have a YouTube channel, you got to have a blog. And if you don't know what to write about, one of the guys that I follow that kind of inspires me to do all this is that it doesn't matter what you write. Reality TV works for a reason. People don't want a production. They want a documentation of a journey. You know what I mean? Like, no more do you need the fancy cameras and Hollywood. Hollywood's dying. Let's be honest. Hollywood's dying. It's really fascinating to me to see my girls. They don't want to be movie stars. They want to be YouTube personalities. They want to be TikTok famous. They have no thought in their mind to be on TV. What's TV? These kids don't watch TV. You know what I mean? So the point is just to play to your strengths and be everywhere. And if you're not comfortable being everywhere, make your business name the presence. Your business should have a Facebook page. It should have a Google listing. It should have a YouTube page, because those are more kind of business centric. But it should also have a presence, whether through you or your business, on Instagram, on TikTok. And what I lost my train of thought there was, people care about the process. So I'm mentioning coffee shops a lot this morning because I'm drinking coffee. You would be surprised how engaging it would be just to show how beans get roasted, or how you make your Frappuccino blend, or like as a chiropractor, showing someone how to stretch their neck or shoulders or back, which again, full disclosure, I'm bad at, because I do more of the around Cranberry stuff than I do my own practice page. But give away your secret, so to speak, because guess what? They're not going to do it on their own. They're going to try and realize it's hard work, or they're going to be able to do a certain amount on their own. And when they need a professional, they're going to call you because you've already volunteered and sowed seeds into them by like a restaurant, for example. You know how awesome it would be if like North Park Lounge showed how they make their lounge fries? Like, no one's going to try it. You want to get it there anyhow, but you would see it and say like, that's really cool. I'm definitely going and getting them. Like maybe 5% of people are going to try and make it on their own, but you're not going to lose anything by showing how you do things. And my point is that's where you start. If you don't know what to put out there, just put out your prep work, your this, your that. You set up a camera and just or just talk into it on your drive. My podcasts are when I'm driving to work, you know. Just start documenting the process. It's more powerful than you may think, and your community will appreciate that. So I kind of went around to full circle to the bigger picture. I kind of lost the around Cranberry message there for a minute, but I think it's important. I really do. And if there's nothing else that you get from this, it's just maybe an inspiration to get out there and be a part of the conversation, because it is happening online. But I will say, kind of in wrapping it up, if you want to be a part of the Around Cranberry initiative in any way, just let me know. We'd love to interview you, get a gift card from you, collaborate on some of these things to help kind of raise awareness to what you're up to. Even if it's not directly your business, a lot of the interviews I did were on community events and nonprofit things, and like the hashtag ACT nonprofit. There's probably like 3 or 4 interviews just on that from different balls and things that were happening for different associations. So anything that you want to be put out there, let us know. You can see the engagement. We can help get you out there. So now there's only a few people on this call, but with that, I would just open it up. I'd gladly to anyone that has any questions. And otherwise, again, if you're watching the playback and you have any questions, just reach out at Dr. Ian Beulah or at Around Cranberry TWP. Be happy to help out in any way I can. Everyone's muted.
Dr. Bulow, I don't have any questions, but I just want to say thanks to you and thanks to Cassie for doing some very educational and wonderful things for the chamber, but also for the communities. I mean, I think what you've got going with Around Cranberry and what Cassie has done with Underground Beaver is just phenomenal for local small business. And the two of you really should be like small town heroes to somebody.
Thanks,
the
Ken.
stuff is great. You know, I live more in the Google world with what I do for my business. We do social media, but not to the way you guys have done it. And I just love being able to, you know, see what you guys are doing and hopefully collaborate with you on some things.
Absolutely. Thanks, Ken. Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Ken. That's nice. Ian, that was great. I appreciate a fellow, I don't know if I'm going to insult you, but like crazy person, right? Like we're just crazy. Like we're crazy for doing this, and we're crazy for getting ourselves in on all these ideas. But it's really good to see someone else with a passion for their community like we have here.
Absolutely. Actually, okay. I'll reward those that stayed and watched this for the whole thing, right? Because people probably jump off and whatnot. Because you called me a crazy person, I will tell you a little secret. If you go on Vimeo.com, not YouTube, but Vimeo, Vimeo.com/Dr. Bulow, Dr. Bulow. I think it's Dr. Bulow. I did a video one time for a conference, a professional conference for my industry. There's these big conferences every year, and they said, all right, next year we're going to do a competition. Everyone's going to make a music video and bring it back next year, and we'll have a prize and we'll have a winner. And I said, oh, you guys are joking. This is my thing. I love the stage. I love all that kind of stuff. That was my background. So I made a video to the song Crazy by Gnarls Barkley. And then there was a young man in my church who, a lot of the contemporary churches like Victory and Grace and Cranberry, I go to Allison Park, but a lot of these kids are so talented with what they put on the boards, you know? And I asked him if he could help me with some editing. And you'll see on that video what he was able to do was insane. We have some green screening and special effects, and it's all the song Crazy because it was about people. People think chiropractors are crazy sometimes. Those quacks. You think you can cure everything under the sun, and but then I think, and the song turns it around and says, I think you're crazy, because it's kind of like, yeah, but man, we are over medicated as a society, and we're not any better for it. And I think taking drugs every day for the rest of your life is crazy. And so it was just a fun video that we did. And so yeah, you'll probably appreciate that because people in my own profession know me as the crazy guy, you know, so that works. I'll take it.
I mean it with the biggest compliment.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'll take it for sure. All righty. Any other questions or thoughts? Good deal. I appreciate the platform, guys.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Hmm.
But we will definitely be, after this is over, we're going to be posting this on YouTube. We'll be sharing it on the Pittsburgh North Regional Chambers Facebook page, tagging, of course, at Cranberry Township or around Cranberry Township. So we'll be sharing that. So you're welcome to spread the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. We gotta do what we preach, right?
That's right. That's right. Practice what we preach, for sure. Yep.
No, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it. And like Jim had said at the beginning, don't forget we have another webinar coming up next Wednesday with Chris Reidenbaugh from, he will be talking about growing your business with Google Small Business. So we look forward to that. Thank you again. I'm going to end the recording now.